Zacob or not Zacob?
Hola, geek fans! It's that time again. We're back. This is 4:30. It's Friday. We're shooting at the luxurious Goodrich Studios International, and this is Geeks at the Movies. My name is Shane Goodrich. I will be your host this evening, and joining me, as always, is our illustrious lead writer, the Mr. Jacob Desitels.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us on this fantastic Friday so we can talk about some movies and TV together.
Oh man, I'm already pumped. That is such an amazing intro, Jacob. Let's do this right now with the Geek News. Item number 1, the first full trailer for Marvel's Daredevil has been released. Jacob, what did you think?
I thought this was an awesome trailer because we got the teasers that we've gotten before, and they were good, but they weren't that impressive. They showed us little glimpses of things. This one, we actually got to see the Punisher in it. We got to see a little bit of Elektra at the end too, but it focused on the Punisher and Daredevil going at each other. I loved it.
The Punisher is that guy from Walking Dead.
Yes.
He reminds me of Shane from Walking Dead. He seems like the kind of guy that's like, this has to be done. I'm going to do it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't like Daredevil because Daredevil, it's a half measure.
Yes.
Don't take a half measure when you got to take a full measure.
Yeah. like
So I like this trailer a lot because it showed me something about the Punisher. I kind of expected it though.
Yes.
This was really what I expected. I wasn't surprised by anything really. Was there anything you were surprised by? Because to me it was like, this is kind of what I thought it would be.
I wasn't really surprised by anything, but I was impressed by some stuff, like John Berthol's acting in it. You know, like you said, he is the Punisher, and
Perfect.
And I really liked that one scene where I can't remember the character's name, but Daredevil's love interest, kind of.
Oh, I can't remember her name either.
But she was like, "Do you ever stop and think that Daredevil's actions could create someone like this?"
Yeah.
And I love that they're taking that route. Like this guy, a vigilante, is like spawning these other people who are going to be more violent than Daredevil is. And then the line at the end where Daredevil says, "You're just one bad day away from becoming me." That was awesome.
The Punisher says.
Yeah, the Punisher says.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I felt like. There's also, and maybe I'm wrong, I heard whisperings that they got another one-shot fight scene that's really supposed to be amazing. There's a clip in there of Daredevil fighting in a hallway.
All right.
And I'm wondering if that's going to be the one-shot fight scene, because the very brief clip of it looked like there's a chain involved and something, and it looked really cool. I'm like, is he going to keep walking and like turn corners? Like, what are they going to do here?
That'd be really cool if they tried to recreate that hallway scene from the first season.
They say better.
Yeah, but better and just up the ante. But I really like this trailer, and I can't wait for season 2 to come out.
Do you want Jessica Jones in season 2?
I wouldn't mind. I don't know if I want to see her in there, but I would like a reference maybe, like that. What does she run? She has some kind of
detective agency.
Yeah,
I can't remember the detective, but it's called.
Yeah, detective agency down the street, a couple blocks away. You know, something like that. And then we could see like Luke Cage or somebody show up, and we know that Night Nurse is coming back. I can't remember the actual character's name, but
Night Nurse.
Yeah,
let's just roll with it.
That's what she's in the comics. But so.
Do you want Luke Cage? That's the other question.
Yeah, I would like to see Luke Cage, but like I don't know if I want them like teaming up just yet. Like I like to like see them like have some kind of interaction, but maybe nothing like too important really.
Have they confirmed the time frame that this is happening?
They haven't really, but I remember the first season of Daredevil took place 11 months after Avengers, which it came out a long time after. So it's sometime like during the beginning of Phase 2, which the first season was. So
what about, when does Jessica Jones take place? I'm asking because I'm wondering, could Jessica Jones' storyline, her first season, be running concurrently with Daredevil's second season?
See, I'm thinking that could be the case, because they are going to try to tie all these together eventually. Like once they get the Iron Fist show out, I think once that happens, they're just gonna like go all at it, and then they're gonna create that Defenders series.
Ooh, the Defenders, the B-Team Avengers.
Yes, yeah.
But it's on Netflix, so it might actually be super awesome.
Yeah, and they got the Batman-like character with Daredevil,
obviously,
and then maybe the Punisher will be there. But it's really interesting because you have all these superpowered people like Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, then you have Daredevil who has powers, but it's nothing that really it doesn't really enhance his ability to do, that.
Enhance his ability a lot. What are you talking about?
Not like I know. Like he can sense stuff more than other people can. Like he can actually see better than people can. But he's not like super powered on the level that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are. They.
I don't know because he has this. This is what I like to see. I like to see people that have various powers and how they interact. You're right. If, in a one-on-one fight, maybe he doesn't have the same strength or that kind of power because all his powers are really mental things.
Yes.
Except for I guess he has enhanced equilibrium. He's better balanced.
Yeah.
So which makes sense because they show him all doing all the flips.
Yeah.
So but otherwise physically, I mean, he got his ass kicked a lot in the first season.
I would like.
But he's strategic because he can hear you come through the wall.
Yeah.
He knows where you are. If the room turns black, I can see.
I would like to see him fighting Luke Cage because he like Luke Cage would be brute strength and he would be all like gymnastic style fighting. Yeah.
Here's what I want to see, and this is my imagination, and this might not be possible. If they are running concurrently, if Jessica Jones season 1 is that all overlapping, I want to see the Purple Man. I want to see the Kilgrave just casually in the background or something.
Yeah. If
or a scene happening in the background.
Like, so if the events in Jessica Jones are happening while Daredevil's fighting Punisher, you just see Kilgrave walking along.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool. It would be a pretty cool cameo, I think.
But I'm guessing it's going to be more like Daredevil season 1, then Jessica Jones season 1, then Daredevil season 1. It's just going to go in chronological order of the show's release.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Let's turn to item number 2. Lucasfilm has officially announced Star Wars Episode 8 has begun shooting with a new production teaser and also confirmed new cast additions of Benicio del Toro, Laura Dern, and Kelly Marie Tran. Jacob, this was a tease!
Yes,
I don't like these super teases.
Yeah, they literally showed us nothing except that they're going to be shooting on Skelly Michael Island again. That was all they showed. And, that one shot where, this is a spoiler for Episode 7. If you haven't
but I guess not anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I guess not anymore.
At least on the internet. You see Luke. I love that close-up shot of Luke, though. And then they show Rey, holding on his lightsaber. And then you see the director yell "cut," but he wasn't there on that day. He wasn't there shooting that scene. That was J.J. Abrams shooting that scene. So that was a totally different scene that he was saying "cut" on. But I do think it could be interesting if it if it starts off right there on that island again. But that's not how Star Wars works. There's always a time jump. There's always like a couple years or something in between each film.
But will they keep the couple of years, or they just connect them, like say Lord of the Rings, or one film ends, another begins? It's essentially one movie.
Yeah, I think they'll stick with the classic Star Wars trope of having at least a year in between each film.
So by the time we come back, we'll see Rey is already a total badass.
Yes, and then Kylo Ren will hopefully be not such a whiny little person. But I am really excited for Episode 8 though, and I really do like that they confirmed Benicio del Toro to be in it. If people are saying that he could be Admiral Thrawn from the old expanded universe. He's a guy with blue skin and red eyes, which is interesting because if you remember in the old movies, the Empire didn't have any aliens at all. They had all human. They were racist pretty much. And then
I thought that though was part of the Empire's thing. They were racist. I thought that was part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, it is.
And then in the old expanded universe, which isn't canon anymore, there was this trilogy called the Thrawn trilogy, and it focused on this guy that came back and kind of started the Empire over again. He kind of brought them back to power, and he was an alien, and he was also really obsessed with the Force, but he wasn't Force sensitive himself. So when I found this other guy that was kind of betrayed the Jedi, I guess, a long time ago. I don't really know. I got 100 pages in the book, and I kind of didn't have time to finish it.
Good job, Kyle. Nice research.
But it does seem like a really interesting premise, especially if you have this guy in here. I think Benicio del Toro could have played that character really well. He looks like he looks like he fit in the all the fan illustrations of the character and everything. Laura Dern, I haven't really seen her in that much stuff, and then Kelly Marie Tran, she's a newcomer, so she could be the lead, the new female lead they were looking for. I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
Yes, we did talk about that. The new female lead, which might not be the lead anymore because they're doing some script rewrites.
Yes, I think a lot of people are saying this new female actress could be a love interest for Finn, but I don't know if they're really gonna focus on have like a real definite love story in this new trilogy. I mean, and they could because they always have it, even though in the prequels it wasn't really that much of a relationship.
Oh,
but
let's not talk about that right now, Kyle.
They could do it. I'm really excited for episode 8. I can't wait until December of 2017 now.
I want to say before we get to the next item on the list is I really like how Luke Skywalker looks. I couldn't talk about this openly except for the spoiler review, but they nailed him. He looks like Obi-Wan. He's dressed like an older Jedi.
Yeah, he's got the beard, long hair. He's just ready to go.
And here's what I want with Luke Skywalker at least once. I'm going to be pissed if they don't do this. Is him acting like a total badass.
Yeah.
Like I remember they did this a little bit with Yoda. When Yoda fights Emperor Palpatine, like the last episode 3, he walks into the room and he has those guards, and he has this like little hands like they're knocked unconscious.
One of the best scenes from the prequel.
I want Luke Skywalker to be like going through a hallway. Maybe he's going to go have a showdown with Snoke. I don't know. Maybe he's doing something else, and a bunch of stormtroopers come up to him and he's like, "Okay, why are you in my way?" Like, I really want them to show how powerful he is. It's going to annoy me if they don't.
I hope that the fact that they actually show that spoiler in this teaser is the fact that he's going to be a central character in this new movie. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. Anyways, let's now move on to item number 3. Another film has officially begun production, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, with new cast members Kurt Russell, Pom Klementieff, Elizabeth Debicki, and Chris Sullivan all being confirmed. Some of those names might be a little different than how I said them, but don't worry about that. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Talk to me, Jacob.
I'm excited. I remember they like a week or two ago they started they released this picture of them in a rehearsal room, like going over their lines and everything. And now in this, they actually started shooting now, and I'm excited that they confirmed Kurt Russell. I think we talked about that a week or two ago.
Is he his dad?
That's what I'm guessing. It's the only person in this name in this list of names that fits.
Wait, Jacob. There's Elizabeth Debicki.
I don't even know who that actress is. I'm sorry. I think we also talked about Pom Klementieff about a month or two ago, because she was in the running for whatever this role is. A lot of people were saying that she could be Mantis, who was a part of the Inhumans in the. I think she was in that.
I mean, what? Mantis? Like half-praying Mantis?
She doesn't look like a Mantis at all.
But I'm disappointed now.
She has these antenna things on her heads, but that's it. But I'm not even really sure what her powers are. But she that could be an interesting role. Could connect this movie to the Inhumans movie that they have planned for the future. But
for the future,
yeah, 2020 or 2019, I don't know, something like that.
Or they'll push it back some more.
but I'm really excited for this. And there was this picture, I think, which shows all of them standing together, and you see little baby Groot standing on Drax's shoulder. I hope that he's not really a baby for the entire movie. I hope that he's actually Groot.
Yeah, I'm assuming that he's gonna grow.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the whole cast come back, and in that rehearsal picture that they released, they showed the guy that stands in for Rocket, who is actually the director's brother. He's just there squatting the whole time, wearing a green screen suit,
really,
motion capture suit the entire time. So in the scene in the first movie where you see Drax petting Rocky, Drax actually petting that guy's head in that really emotional scene. Yeah, but
man. The emotional scene, that was tough. I guess he probably was used to it by then.
Yeah, but this is coming out also in 2017, May next year. I'm really excited.
I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's been a while since I saw it.
Yeah.
And Captain America: Civil War is coming out soon.
Yeah.
So I'm really focused on that. So I can't really get that excited about this. Just casting announcements.
Yeah, I'm just excited for more weird comic booky really sweaty geeks stuff that they're going to add to this movie, because that first movie, no one expected that they would do that good, first of all, but second of all, it was a really geeky movie.
Yeah, it was, and it was a really good movie.
Yes.
I thought I was going to be annoyed by the constant one-liners. I usually like my superhero movies a little more on the serious side.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer there's an argument. Well, what's the best one, Guardians of the Galaxy or Winter Soldier? I'm in the Winter Soldier camp. Yeah. Even though I love Guardians of the Galaxy, it's just I like the tones in that movie a little better.
Yeah, I'm actually not really sure, because I I really like the seriousness of Winter Soldier, but I really love the fun playfulness of Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're getting Suicide Squad, which is going to be another really weird, wacky movie. And
so much wacky.
And then we're getting this like 5 or 6 months later.
So much goofy.
Yes, I'm really excited.
Excellent. Let's move on to item number 4. Paramount has announced the release dates for the next 3 Transformer movies, which will be released 1 year after another, starting in 2017 through 2019. Also, there's going to be a Bumblebee standalone film.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Bumblebee film first. That's the movie that's going to be coming out in 2018, because they released this statement that they're going to be releasing one Transformers film year after another for 3 years in a row. And then they're like, oh yeah, the 2018 film, that's not a Transformers movie, it's a Bumblebee film. I don't know why they're doing this. I think they want to... What they want to do is they want to cash in on the whole, expanded universe type thing that, Marvel and DC have going on right now, and have their own characters, have their own standalone films. Why don't you do an Optimus Prime standalone film? That would make sense.
Maybe a Megatron.
Yeah, something different, because Bumblebee, he's going to be on Earth the whole time. It's going to be boring.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Is this character loved? I don't understand.
He doesn't speak, or maybe in the new movie, I think he got a new voice box or something, but still, it doesn't.
He's like a goofy kind of little side character.
Yeah,
making jokes. He's not particularly powerful.
Yeah,
but, I don't get it.
He hasn't really been a main character since the first film, where he was, I really hate the character's name, but Wicky's, or what was...
I didn't see the first movie all the way through.
But the actor, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, him.
Shia LaBeouf.
Him and Bumblebee, they had some interesting chemistry together, but he's not in the franchise anymore.
Right.
So he's just gonna have him just...
He was just a guy in Age of Extinction, which is the only Transformer movie I've actually seen all the way through. Yeah. He was just... I guess he was part of the main cast, you could say. Yeah. He didn't really have a big role. He was a fighter.
Yeah. Maybe in Transformers 5 he'll have a bigger role and will lead into him having his own movie, but still I'm not really going to be that excited for it. But what will make me excited, will make me excited if they get a good director and a good writing team behind it, because they're having Michael Bay writing Transformers 5 again. But that also begs the question: is he going to direct the one in 2019 as well? Because
he said he was. I've heard that he said he wasn't going to be on for 3 or 4, but then he just came on.
Yeah, because they backed up to his house with more dump trucks full of money. We're just like, hey, yeah, direct our movie.
I don't like a lot of the stuff he does, but again, we talked about this in an editorial. Michael Bay delivers on what the fans want.
Yeah, well, what they say with their money.
Right.
Because Transformers 4 is in the $1 billion club.
Yeah, it's huge.
It just blows my mind. Like, how?
Because it gives you what you want.
I know,
it gives you that robot action. It doesn't give you anything else.
Yeah, and it could use a little bit more robot action and less humans running around with Bud Lights in their hands.
Man, it was so blatant. It was so ridiculous. Just cracks open a Bud Light. Yeah. It's like, wait, what? Why are you doing that?
But
why are you doing that right now? Hey! Oh, the movie's so stupid. You should watch it though, and then watch our editorial about it afterward.
Yeah.
Because it's like an interesting case study.
Yeah, because the ship crashes into this Bud Light truck, and then Bud Lights go everywhere. And as soon as I saw it, because I heard that it had this really blatant product placement thing in it, then I saw the movie and I was like, oh my god, how? What? How did they get away with that? But
Bud Light paid them.
Yeah, they were like.
That's another reason why they make money, because the in advertising in the movie that's in there, the product placement stuff.
Yeah,
they're getting paid.
But yeah, well, so I won't be excited for Transformers, Bumblebee, and Transformers 6 if they get good people behind them, because they need to get Michael Bay out of there. They need to change it up, but they want Michael Bay to do it because he makes the money.
Makes some money, Jacob. I'm not excited about it. Let's just move on to item number 5. A teaser image for the upcoming Shane Black directed Predator movie has been released, revealing the official title of the movie. The Predator.
Yep. So, I saw this picture, and I was like, yeah, it's a cool picture, and it has the tagline, you'll never see him coming, which is kind of a play on words from Iron Man 3, which Shane Black also directed with the Mandarin. You'll never see me coming. But at the same time, any fan could have made this. They could have just been like, oh yeah, look at this fake poster I just made.
That's it right
Yeah.
there. You just nailed it. This is like generic Photoshop.
Yeah.
They took a picture of the Predator who looks the same as he always has.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. He looks cool. And then they just put the words over it.
Yeah.
And then the title, The Predator.
Yeah.
This is all like generic.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why do I care? I don't.
I care about the movie, but I don't care about this picture. It doesn't get me excited.
No, it didn't do anything for me.
Like, yeah, the Predator, cool. I could just wait for the trailer for that title. It's not that impressive.
I could have photoshopped my own picture. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
But Shane Black. He's become a very big name ever since Iron Man 3. Even though it wasn't very loved, you know, he directed a Marvel movie, so he's got a lot of job offers now. And he has this new movie coming out. I think it's called The Nice Guys. It looks really good. It's like a film noir comedy movie, which is what he's really good at. What he did with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert Downey Jr. So I'm really excited to see that. That's coming out this year, I think, around May. And then he has like I think Flash Gordon. Like he has a bunch of movies. I can't remember what they all are, but he has all these things lined up. And I think this was just to say that this is my next project. This is what I'm going to be working on next. So maybe he like photoshopped it himself, like put it together, like all right guys, I'm gonna be in this movie now. And interesting fact, he was actually in the first movie as an actor. He was the guy with the glasses that was kind of like useless, but
Whoa, really?
Yeah, he was like the first guy that died in the movie.
Shane Black.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can see his name in the credits, but
Man, that guy actually had like a speaking role though. I mean, he died soon, but he had a speaking role.
Yeah,
wow, he's an actor.
Yeah, he was. He might have been involved with the production of that movie too. So I think he's gonna like have a really good connection to this movie, because he was in the first movie, so he kind of has a special connection to it.
All right, special connection, but see, here's the thing: I don't know this guy except for Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
I liked Iron Man 3, but it had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it because it fit, again, this is about personal taste. I like seeing Iron Man fight things. I like the superhero stuff. But a lot of stuff I think could have been rearranged. I hated what they did with the Mandarin. So it doesn't make me that excited for Predator, especially when I've seen a number of other Predator movies that are always kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
I recently saw Predators, which wasn't as horrible as I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was good.
I wouldn't call it good, but it was medium.
Yeah.
It was medium. But then there was the Predator, the two Alien Predator movies. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like the first Predator movie, I like a lot. I haven't seen this Predator 2 in a long time. I thought I remember liking it.
Yeah,
but
I remember liking it to a point. Like it felt weird having Predator in the city now, as opposed to the jungle. But then there's that really awesome scene where Danny Glover, or is it Danny Glover?
Danny Glover, I think.
Yeah. Where he goes into the Predator ship, and that was a really cool scene. You actually see a xenomorph skull on the wall behind him, which led up to the terribly disappointing Alien vs. Predator movies. But I don't think this movie's going to be like that at all. I think Shane Black's going to add his own feel to it. He
reboot?
No, I think it's going to continue on with everything. Even though in Predators they completely ignored Predator 2. But do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger's going to have a cameo?
He should.
He should. Yeah,
he should.
It's about time.
I mean, what they could do is if they ignored some of the other movies, is bring Schwarzenegger back as the older expert. Like, well, here's what happened. I fought this guy. Blah blah blah. And I kind of want to remake a reboot, or maybe a soft reboot. But I also could maybe be interested in with a few Predators. I'm not even sure what I want from this movie because I like Predator, but even the original Predator was a cheesy 80s action movie. It was delivered on the goods of some alien monster hunting in the woods. I'm not sure what to think about this movie. I didn't have any thoughts yet because all I see is this badly photoshopped image, and it's not pumping me up for it.
Yeah, the first Predator movie gave me what I wanted, even as like a 10-year-old kid. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is just a fun, cheesy 80s action movie.
He's so badass looking!
Yes, and then he gets to the chopper! All of Arnold's famous lines from that movie.
So good.
You're one ugly motherfucker. I want a lot of references in the movie, Shane Black. Give me tons of references.
Tons of bad dialogue. That's what we need in a Predator movie. Let's move on to item number 6. Creator of the comic book Spawn, Todd McFarlane, has stated that he will finish the script for the new long-awaited film about the character and stated that it will be rated R. Jacob, I did see the original Spawn movie, but it's been a long time, and I remember being kind of mixed about it.
Yeah, I remember I saw that movie. Even before I was like a really big Spawn fan, I was like, wow, this is really bad. This is really bad. And you know, we talk about, you know, rated R comic book movies, you know, now. Pretty sure this was rated R. I'm not positive.
I thought it was PG-13.
No, okay, it might have been PG-13, but...
I've been a while. Don't quote me. I'm not sure.
The comic book, that's a very R-rated. Some very violent stuff. You know, a lot of, you know, sex, nudity.
All that great stuff you love.
Yes, and so it felt really out of place for this movie to be rated PG-13 because, you know, it just doesn't fit in this character with this character. But I am a very big Spawn fan now. I even have the first issue. I remember I found that somewhere and I was like, holy crap! I got the first issue of Spawn, man. And but he's a very interesting character because he's not really a hero. He's not really even like an anti-hero. He just like fights people that get in his way and like fights. He has a clown villain just like Batman, but his main villain is like the devil pretty much. You know, he fights. He is the the devil's
acolyte.
The person who's going to lead the apocalypse.
Oh, like a four horsemen kind of guy?
Yeah, for the devil, but he doesn't want to be that guy, so it kind of like breaks away and it's kind of like trying to stop the apocalypse from happening.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. This is kind of okay.
Yeah, it's a very interesting premise, and they like go in like a lot of different directions because I jumped around in the series a lot because I don't have most of the issues, and the more recent stuff, it's really. It's very different, and the
I mean, it's been running now for a while. The series.
Yes,
has it been rebooted, or does it just keep going?
It hasn't been rebooted like, you know, certain series have, like with all the Marvel series. With
everything. Pretty much everything is restarted at some point.
Yeah, but this it's only like 250 something now. That's not too far.
Oh, okay.
But they actually changed Spawn's character, and then I got the issue. I was reading. It was like they changed the character, and then at the end, the original character comes back, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm back in now. And I really want to start reading it again, but it's really because the creator Tom McFarlane, he said that first of all, he's not a great writer. He's much better of a drawer than a writer. But he said that the direction they were going with this movie was a mix between The Departed and Paranormal Activity. Which makes me go, what?
Yeah, that's just right. I just went what in my head.
Yeah.
What's Paranormal Activity?
It's that weird found footage movie where it's in the house.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The ghosts.
Okay, whoa, wow, what?
Yeah, I know, that doesn't make any sense to me.
The Departed, what?
Because there are these two detective characters in the comic book series, but they don't play a huge role in it. Like, I wouldn't want the film to focus on them with, you know, Spawn in the background as like a ghost character. I want it to be, you know, a superhero movie, even though he's not a superhero, but he has that flavor about him.
Right.
The original, like...
A powered person's movie.
Yeah, the original, like, 50 issues are about, you know, him with his awesome cape where you can, like, teleport with it and everything. It has a lot of really cool visuals that you could, like, bring to life in today's day and age, which you couldn't do in the 90s when the first film came out.
At least effectively.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing more about this, but I reserve judgment.
Yeah, I also don't trust Tom McFarlane saying that they finished the script.
Yeah,
because he's been saying this for so long, like, oh yeah, we're getting another Spawn movie, I'm writing it. Why? Why are you writing it? Don't write it. Get someone else.
Don't write it.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully they get a good director, and he can turn this, what's probably a crappy script, into something better.
Alright then, let's move on to item number 7. The Deadpool movie was released over this weekend, and it made a buttload of money when it was released in its opening weekend, like 132 million or so, far beyond expectations. I wanted to bring this up because I was so happy for Deadpool.
Yeah. Because
it gave the fans, you know, I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I thought it was a good movie, but I gave it 5 stars if you're a Deadpool fan.
Yeah.
And the fans came out for it. So often, people make these comic book movies and then they go, wait, no, we need to mess with this. We need to change that. Fantastic Four, great example. Didn't stick to the comic book. Did not do it at all. The characters are dramatically different ages. Dr. Doom was, I didn't even know what he was.
Garbage Man.
right?
Yeah.
And the fans were like, "This is garbage. I'm not coming to see it."
Yeah.
Here, they actually went, Deadpool, let's go with it all the way. We're going to do real Deadpool, and the fans responded.
Yeah.
I hope this brings more of these other comic book characters to life and not compromise comic book characters.
Yeah, and with some properties, there's some stuff that, works on the page, doesn't work on the screen. You have to change some stuff. But with Deadpool, they nailed the tone so correctly that they could actually make it like the comic book.
Yes.
They actually have the character, being like Deadpool. But in these numbers, I remember, I expected the theaters to be packed both times I saw it, and it was, but I still didn't expect it to be 135 million opening weekend. That's just insane for this type of movie in February, especially for a movie in February. And it had pretty sure I had the highest opening for the first day when it got released on Thursday.
Yep.
Pretty sure it has that record now too. It's breaking all kinds of records. It's going to make them so much money, and Fox is going to be like, all right, let's get started on the sequel right away, and that's what I want.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the sequel. Anyway, Jacob, we've now reached the part of the show that we call Geek Talk. This is where we talk about anything from the Geekverse. Jacob, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about our favorite TV shows of all time. I know you have a list. What is it?
Okay, well, okay. So I have my 3 favorite shows of all time. I now have 3 shows that I often kind of go, which one do I like more? Traditionally, my favorite show of all time is Star Trek Next Generation. I love that show. I started watching it when I was 5 years old, the first season in 1987. I grew up with the show. Data and Picard, I loved. They were actually like influential on my life. Like Data is a character that, it's weird because he's a robot. He doesn't have emotions, so he's very rational, logical, and that had a big influence on me. And Picard is just a man. It's the great, wise leader, like in the vein of Professor X or Gandalf the Grey, that kind of guy. Today, in the modern age, I look back at Next Generation, which I've seen multiple times. I've seen some of the episodes a couple dozen times, and it's it's a flawed show. It has some problems, but overall, it's really good. The storylines are good, and nostalgia will always keep it number 1. I'll remember as a little kid. Now the other 2 shows, though, I think are just amazing on their own. There's nostalgia now for, I guess they've been on the air for a few years, or one of them's been off for 10 years, but they're just amazing. That's Deadwood and Game of Thrones. So Deadwood for a long time has been kind of my number 2, sometimes tied with Next Generation for number 1. And now recently I've added Game of Thrones into the trifecta, to the trinity, this trinity of masterpieces.
And they're all 3 different genres too.
Yep.
They nail those genres really well.
Really well.
And for me, I guess I have 3 shows, which the first 2 are very different. That's Breaking Bad, which is one of the best TV shows of all time.
Yep.
And then you got The Office, because I came to The Office party late, probably 3rd or 4th season, and then I went back and watched the first 2 seasons.
When you say The Office, do you mean the American version? Are there 2 versions?
Yeah, I'm talking about the American version. I remember I watched the British version. I didn't really like it that much, but that show, it's a fun little comedy show, but it also has a lot of heart to it. And there's a lot of very emotional episodes to it. Michael Scott is one of the best comedy characters, I think, of on TV at least, of all time pretty much. But he's but that show, it just had so much to it, and it had a couple of disappointing seasons after Michael left the show, but then I felt in the last season they really got back on track, and they actually focused on the fact that this is a show that's supposed to be like a documentary. You actually have the people behind the camera being shown and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen The Office. Or I've seen clips, on YouTube, but
it's all a documentary that happened over these. I think the show had 9 or 11 seasons. I can't remember.
Wait, so what you're saying is this is an actual office and there's recording what's happening?
Yeah,
that's the style?
That's the way they're playing it out. And they just follow these people around and everything, and they actually have this guy as you would expect, the people behind the camera become connected to these people that they've been filming for 9 years now, and they actually play into that in the last season. But moving on from that, I would also add Game of Thrones onto it.
Oh wow, you're a latecomer.
I know, I wasn't really late.
I've been there from episode 1.
Yeah, but I binge watched like the first 4 seasons, and then I started the 5th season, and it took a while to sink in. Like I was like, is this really one of my favorite shows? But now like thinking back on it, like yeah, it's just amazing. Like,
It's the production. See, this is I've talked to you about this before. I don't understand how HBO can have such good production values. I mean, Deadwood has great production values. It came out in the early 2000s. It looks, at the time, it looked like better than any other show on television. It still looks really amazing. It looks like a movie, Deadwood, right? But and, the scale isn't that huge, so you can kind of see it. Even though I still don't understand how other shows of that scale on ABC can't look like that. But we'll put that to the side for a moment. But then you go to Game of Thrones, where the scale really is like cinematic. It's huge scale.
Yeah.
That episode Hard Home in season 5, where they're having the battle, and there's the giants, and there's the undead army.
Yeah,
it's like something from a movie.
Yeah, the whole show pretty much is movie production value.
Yes.
They found a way to make it like every episode is like a mini movie.
Yeah, it's incredible, and I love the giant cast. This is another. It happens a lot with a lot of HBO shows. This is a common theme. Boardwalk Empire, The Wire, The Sopranos, Deadwood, and Game of Thrones. They all have these huge casts, and they'll introduce characters, and then, a few episodes later, well, then here's a here's some more information about that character. Here's some more information about that character. You're like, how can there be so many characters? And this is one of the things I like about TV compared to movies. I like how you have this huge cast and all these characters, and you're like, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, they had an episode where he did this. Yeah. Where in a movie, you can't have that.
Yeah. I'll be really interested to see how Game of Thrones ends, because at least for me, I think that or Breaking Bad and The Office really had great finales, but some people didn't really like the Breaking Bad finale, which I don't really understand. But
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. But we'll see how Game of Thrones ends, because this is such a widely loved show. It really has to have an amazing series finale.
I've been burnt on a lot of series finales, from Star Trek Deep Space Nine to Sopranos to like this Seinfeld. To a bunch of shows.
Yeah, people really hate the Seinfeld.
It makes no sense. The whole show is a show about nothing, where they specifically, Jerry Seinfeld even said this, they avoid any feels. Nothing's ever taken seriously, and then they just take it seriously at the end. That's the exact time to not take it seriously. Yeah. It was so bad. But anyways, that's an aside. But I've been burnt by a lot of shows ends. Deadwood, actually, the ending, the first time I saw it, I liked it, but it doesn't hold up subsequently, because it's basically it relies on a surprise element.
Yeah. So
it's cool when you first watch it, but then after you know the surprise, or you actually know how it ends, it's like, okay, it's like, to me, it's the worst episode of the whole series.
Yeah, it just ends like that.
Now, Next Generation, on the other hand, though, has probably the best finale I've seen in any show. I don't think I've ever seen a finale better than Next Generation's. They encapsulate everything it was about in the finale, and then of course they went on to make a bunch of shitty movies. Whatever.
And some honorable mentions for me are Daredevil. Now I really like Daredevil. Another show that isn't on the air anymore, 30 Rock. That's another sitcom that I just adored. It had some really smart comedy in there, and also a very good series finale, I thought. Parks and Rec, really good series finale. What are some honor mentions that you can think of?
Interesting, because I don't have any comedies in I almost consider comedy a separate class.
Yeah, I don't really watch any sitcoms anymore, but there were a ton that I watched that aren't on the air anymore. Yeah.
I mean, I've watched comedies, and I have comedies I like, but like shows like South Park, Family Guy, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I love those shows, but I would even think of them. Yeah. It's a different thing. Yeah. I watch them differently. I don't usually, oftentimes I don't binge watch those shows. I'll watch them with random people, hanging out. It's very different. But some honorable mentions, like in my top 10, and these don't have any order, would be a lot of HBO shows. So shows like Rome, The Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, Breaking Bad is another great show. Mad Men. Mad Men. So these are some other shows that I consider them tier 1 shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something for me would be The Walking Dead too. That might be like tier 2 for you.
And no, that's actually one of my favorite shows.
Okay, it's a very good show. It has some disappointing episodes.
But see, Walking Dead might be tier 2, but for my favorite wise, it would probably still be in the top 10.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really good shows out there, and what are some of your favorite shows? We want to know.
Put them in the comments below.
So many great shows. We review a lot of them, but there's some that we don't like, so we don't review.
Right. Let us know. And remember, we're always looking for more geek guests. And if you want to be a guest geek, you might be able to review shows. You might talk about it. Just let us know what you think. Anyways, Jacob, now we've our time for that part of the show that we have to call Old School. This is where we talk about any movie over 10 years old. It's so simple, right, Jacob?
Yes, it is.
What are we talking about?
The Gladiator. Yeah, that movie.
Oh, shit.
Ridley Scott.
Starring Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix as a villain. We haven't really seen him do a villain since this movie.
Ooh, Commodus.
But I watched this movie for the first time, probably 5 years ago, and I was really excited for it. And it lived to that excitement, but also I had some problems with it, like the.
Well, let's explain what the movie is about. So Russell Crowe plays a general in the Roman army. They're out and battling barbarians, trying to shore up the empire. At this time, the emperor is Marcus Aurelius. These are all real people, but the events are all messed up, so don't worry about that. Anyway, so Marcus Aurelius is the emperor at the time, and he's like, you know what? Rome should go back to being a republic, and the people should have a voice. But then Marcus Aurelius dies, and his son Commodus, who in real life had some problems, comes to power. He somehow gets rid of this general because he's a supporter of him, and he ends up getting sold into slavery. He becomes a gladiator, and then shenanigans ensue as a gladiator. All kinds of stuff happens, and blah 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 blah. And
the whole movie is basically about him trying to save his or get back to his wife and
kid. Yeah, I forgot that element.
And,
yes.
And then if you haven't seen the movie, this is a spoiler. It's been out for
long time,
over 10 years now, because we're talking about it. But he gets back to his wife and kid, and they're already dead.
They're already dead.
And I thought that was a really good scene of Russell Crowe, showing his acting ability which he's really expanded since then. He's a great actor now.
Oh yeah.
And in this movie, he shows that his acting ability in
his range.
Yes, because he goes from in the same movie goes from action star to just like a husband and a father.
Yes.
But in the action part of the movie, awesome scenes.
Yeah. Oh, I love the scenes where they're in the Colosseum, the famous Roman Colosseum, and they have to fight all these other guys. And I like some of the side characters. I can't remember their names, but some of the other gladiators, like they have this giant dude, and they're fighting. And it's real choreographed. It's exciting. And then they bring Commodus in there. Sometimes he fights. What were you were about to say before I cut you off to explain about what the movie's about? You said the movie you liked it, but there were some problems.
Yeah, I guess just the story itself, it didn't move fast enough for me, I guess, even though it is a very interesting premise, but the whole, everything with Commodus.
Yes, Commodus, that's the emperor.
Joaquin Phoenix, he did a great job in that role, but I just thought that some of the stuff with him wasn't very that interesting, I thought. I liked Joaquin Phoenix in that role, Commodus, but I didn't love him in that role. But I'm not sure if it was really his fault or the character was written a little bit. I thought he was a little shallow, the character. Yeah.
That was a problem. So that's not really Joaquin Phoenix's fault. He was a little too much of the sociopathic emperor who I do what I want, and I didn't like that. Now I'm going to comment on this movie from a historical angle, and this movie kind of pissed me off. So it didn't really piss me off that much, I should say, because the movie was great, but there's a lot of times where they did the classic thing where clearly they could have done a little bit of research and gotten the clothing right and gotten certain things correct, and they just didn't bother. So all the military gear and their outfits and stuff, it's all a mess. There's other times where they clearly just didn't even care. And this is and this I'm fine with, even though it's really inaccurate. Like how Rome looks.
Yeah. They
make it look like this perfect, spotless, amazing city full of marble. Everything's huge and giant, and it didn't really necessarily look like that. It was very urban. If you see the show, the HBO show Rome, you'll get a better sense of what Rome really looked like. Yeah, there's the great monuments, but this is also a really dense urban center that's filthy and nasty. Lots of rundown houses and whatnot, and cramped cities. And they didn't show. They showed the classic Hollywood Rome of everything's wide and open and covered with marble. But that seemed like an artistic decision that I was fine with. I just like when they make this random changes to other stuff. Like, why did you? All you need is to have in the story and be like, oh, put the buckle here, put that here.
Yeah.
You know.
I think Ridley Scott. He's really interested in like historical dramas
and he's done good in the past. That's another thing why I was disappointed because he's done well in the past with those details.
With the Duelist, right?
Yeah, the Duelist is one example.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then I think he's gotten like worse and worse as he's gone on. then you hit Gods and Kings where he like totally forgot about race in that movie and was like, oh yeah, let's get Christian Bale to play a black guy.
Oh my god. Anything else you want to say about the Gladiator?
I really.
Oh wait, what was it's not black?
A
Middle Eastern person.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
But Gladiator, it's a good movie. I would definitely recommend seeing it. It has a lot of action and also a lot of really well acted scenes in it. So. Yeah,
sometimes we review movies here, but I haven't seen it recently enough for me to give it a score. I'm not comfortable giving it a score.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a cool movie. I like it. Jacob likes it. If you like action, if you like kind of the Rome setting, the old school setting with swords and sandals.
Yeah.
If you like that, you should watch it. Anyways, Jacob, we've come to the end of the show today. It's a very, very sad moment. Where can they get more great geek action?
You can find us on our YouTube channel at Geeks at the Movies on Facebook, like our Facebook page, and then follow us on Twitter at Geeks at the Movie. Drop the S.
Oh my! You can also email us at geeksatthemovies.ct@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We want to get more great guest geek segments on. We got new stuff coming out all the time. Anyways, my name is Shane Goodrich. This is
Jacob Does the Toes.
And we've been Geeks at the Movies.
In a video called Beast of Willimantic or Animals of Willimantic. All right, I have your permission then. What's the dog's name? Chloe. The dog's name is Chloe. It's recording. Taco, like Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Taco the snake.
I gave him the name because he was busy eating a taco one day.
Oh, that is badass, dude. I love it.
I brought him in the Taco Bell and they were giving me and my friend free things because his name was Taco. And her snake's name was Burrito.
Do you have permission to use this footage for a montage about animals around town?
Yeah.
All right, Taco. It's Taco, folks. Thank you. Many different versions. This is Patches. Say hi to the camera, Patches. Yeah, you're a deadbeat beast, aren't you?